Hello everybody, and welcome back again to another video where again I talk in detail if there is actually a difference between the 2008 SG Special Faded that I had previously and this 2014 SG-J. So first off, as you can see, I've removed the pickguard that the previous owner put on. Still not sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to try to fix the holes and leave it like that, or fix the pickguard and put it back in place. Either way, the pickguard will have to be altered further for that to work. Now, in regards to this video and posting it, is there a difference between this guitar and my previous 08 SG Special? Pricing wise, yes, when it comes to retail pricing. The SGJ usually went for between $4.99 and $5.99 US. Whereas the Gibson SG Specials still go roughly between probably about $7.99 to $9.99 US in the retail, and are still available. These are not available anymore other than on the used market. So pricing wise, yes, there's a difference. Does that reflect in the actual overall material in the instruments? Physically, body and neck wise, maybe a little. Beyond that, I can't say so much. I can say, does this guitar feel any better to play due to price difference? No. In fact, because that is a very subjective thing. Now, this guitar feels better to me because of one reason specifically, though. The neck profile on this guitar is a 60s style thinner neck. On the SG Special, it was a 50s style profile. So I find that the 60s style profile neck on the Gibsons, I guess, feels more comfortable to me in my hands. Does the material this guitar have make any difference on how it sounds as an SG versus the 08 SG Special I had previously? Not really. Sounds like an SG. Looks like an SG. Well, SG minus the pickguard. And some other things. But in all intents and purposes, they're really pretty much the same guitar. Especially in this instance, they're actually both 24 fret as well. Fretboard material might be the same. Frets themselves might be the same. Beyond that, is there a difference though in some of the attributes on this guitar, this 2014 SGJ, versus what was on the 2008 SG Special Faded? Yeah, there is some definitely slight differences, but again, doesn't affect the actual overall playability of the instrument or giving the sound. Let's start up with obviously the big difference between the two guitars is SG Specials, mahogany neck, mahogany body. These XXJ series instruments, maple neck, mahogany body. Some people say it adds brightness or takes away from sound and so forth. It's all subjective, and it's all to what a person hears. Now, beyond that, even though this has a bent tuner, not sure how well these get picked up in the light. These are Gibson Deluxe tuners. The SG Special I had pretty much had the same type of tuner, and it felt of the same quality. So there's one thing that really isn't any different between the two models. Now, here's where it comes to the next point when we're talking about headstock. Though you can't see it very, very well, but there is a front veneer on this headstock that is actually about, I will venture to say, just a slight bit thinner than the headstock veneer in front that they put on the Special. So there is a difference there. In the silk screening itself, between the SG Special and this, the silk screening quality of the headstock is pretty much about the same. Maybe a little bit better. One of the things that I think I do notice about this, though, is, I could be wrong, but the Gibson logo looks like it's actually off. Like, it should be a little bit more lined up across that way more. It looks like it's too tilted up that way on the end side of it. Another big thing, Special does not have the crown or flower inlay on it, period. So that's another, just an aesthetic look. Beyond that, as we go down the neck, again, neck profile. Let's see. Fingerboard feels like it's pretty much the same identical fingerboard as the SG Special, the 08 SG Special. The only thing I will note that I don't know if it's because of the way it was finished or whatnot, but you can't necessarily see it here where my thumb is, or maybe I can kind of get the camera to show it. But right here, well, you can kind of see it here where the fretboard ends and the neck color starts. There is a slight lip or an edge there. On the SG Special, there isn't such. So I don't know if that's the maple or the finish over the maple neck that's making it extrude just a teeny weeny bit there, but it is noticeable compared to the other SG Special 08 that I had before. Inlays on this I actually feel are nicer and are of a higher quality, considering this is I think the first one that I've actually been able to put my hands on for one of the 2014 models that has the inlay. The quality of the inlay itself is rather good. It does not stick up any. Fret condition, there's no fret sprout, nothing like that. Again, I can't comment on the knobs because they were aftermarket add-ons. Toggle switch doesn't feel very much different, maybe a little bit cheaper of a aging quality or whatever, but again, when you're trying to put the price of something to be more cheaper and sellable, that's what you do, is you do things like that. The only things otherwise I can comment on, again, the brushed aluminum or whatever you want to call this stop tail piece and tom bridge, really no different other than maybe feeling or looking a little bit more kind of techier or newer. So I will fade in here and give a summary. Again, is there a difference between a 2008 Gibson SG Special and a 2014 SG-J? Yes. Both would make great modding platforms. The 2014s are probably a little bit more harder to find, and because of that reason, and people saying the 120th anniversary thing, using it as a sales point and charging more for it, to me, it's no different. It should be selling for about the same, should be selling for almost at the same price point as it did retail back when they're for sale. So in that $4.99 to $5.99 range US, if that. $400 on these probably is a reasonable buy US or Canadian. And again, the SG specials are in the, well, as you know, 800 to 1,000 US new. Used, you can pick them up anywhere between, I believe, 500 and 750 for the Gibson SG specials. Both would make, again, both would make great modding platforms. If you care about the Gibson brand name and what is in the actual physical construction of the guitar, then you definitely are going to want to go SG Special to get more closest to an SG. If you really don't care, nothing wrong with a maple-necked SG or this platform. Numerous companies have done maple and mahogany. Even Zakk Wylde's own signature Les Paul is maple neck mahogany body. So, I mean, it works. Again, buy what is in your budget, and what you find is the most comfortablest is the most important of all. And again, enjoy playing. No matter what people say, if you're good or bad, enjoy the instrument no matter the value, whether it's a cheap junky guitar or a $2,000 Gibson SG standard. There is no price when it comes to enjoyment of an instrument and what it can give you for happiness. As long as it makes you happy. At the end of the day, that's really what matters most. Whether it's a $200 guitar or a $2,000 guitar. $2 million guitar, well, maybe not so much, but I don't see too many people buying $2 million guitars too much unless they're quite eccentric and have that kind of money. So anyways, folks, that's kind of my little summary video on the differences between the Gibson SG-J in the few years that Gibson actually ran them, and of course the still continued Gibson SG Special as I had the previous model. Thanks for watching, thanks for watching, folks, and I hope you found it a little informative and entertaining. And again, take care. Bye for now.